Pakistani state is controlled by Pakistani army. That's the fact of the matter. Is it possible to change the nature of the Pakistani army, which is built on hatred towards India?
Well, it's a very complex issue. Pakistan army perhaps firstly does not have any trust in the political leaders of Pakistan because they consider them as men of straw. They consider themselves that they're only interested in looking after their family interests and looking after their own parochial interests. Secondly, Pakistan army had so far been saying that while they are moving towards Islamization, but they are less Islamic, less fundamentalist than the political leaders. So they would be willing to make Pakistan a responsible, liberal state and therefore valuable partner to countries like USA, UK, etc., in their operations in the region. But now what we are seeing is when the Pakistani army chief is directly asking for Islamic kind of rule and who takes great pride that he knows the Quran by heart and can recite it any time and use the each and every single misinterpretation which one might have of the Quran's text against the other people.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Now we come to the third part of our story, third part of our conversation. What are Indian options right now? What do we expect Indian government to do? We are not going to go for a knee-jerk reaction, as most of the panelists have said. It's going to be a calibrated approach, slow, steady, and it will be served cold to Pakistan. It will be served cold to Pakistan. I'm joined by Ambassador Veena Sikri and Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni, former DG Infantry. Let me straight away go to Ambassador Sikri. Madam, what do you make of the decisions that have been taken by the Indian government and the reciprocal measures that have been effected? Your comments first, ma'am.
Okay, well, I think that the Indian government announced a very strong and very appropriate set of measures yesterday. And I think the fact that these were appropriate, they've hit home. We've seen today the reaction in Pakistan. There's complete shell shock over the fact that the Indus Waters Treaty has been put into abeyance. The stock market crashed by 1,000 points today in Pakistan. And also, they're trying to deny that it even happened because very recently, I think maybe half an hour, 1 hour ago, there was a press conference by somebody in Pakistan from their Ministry of External Affairs, and that tried to pretend that actually the Indus Waters Treaty has not been put in abeyance. And tried to say no when they called in our High Commission representatives, they gave a note, but they didn't mention this. But actually, in the transcript of Foreign Secretary Vikram Mishri's briefing yesterday, the first point is that the Indus Waters Treaty is being put in abeyance and will remain so till Pakistan irrevocably abjures state-sponsored terrorism and other aspects. So I think that this decision has been very effective, very bold. It's been talked about for the last 15 years. But it was never implemented. But now I'm glad that the decision has been taken and it has been put in abeyance. We can now, breathe easy because the Indus Waters Treaty was a very unequal treaty. India had access only to 30% of the waters and Pakistan had access to 70%. And that too on India, 30%, there was all kinds of control of design of projects and then engineers coming and looking at it and all kinds of data to be reported. All that will end now. And we can take seriously our future action as early as possible, whether it is storage reservoirs, diversion of water towards Jammu and other areas where it's going to help the people most, whatever they need for their economy. So that is very good. I think the other actions about expelling the defense attaches, Army, Navy, and Air Force is very strong, very good, because in Pakistan playbook, these are always ISI representatives, and they have a very negative effect in their activities in India, both in the kind of people they cultivate, the kind of dissension they try to create, and that's very good. But I must say one important aspect is, two important aspects, that the diplomatic follow-up. Today we have been calling in all the High Commission and ambassadors and talking to them. And I think the final impact should be that we must work with all the world to get Pakistan declared as a state sponsor of terrorism. And if we do that, then that will prevent Pakistan from ever doing any such thing again.
Okay. Let me go across to General Kulkarni, sir. There was an element of surprise in Uri. There was an element of surprise in Balakot. What do you think that will be an element of surprise now? Because we exercise two different units of Indian armed forces. Army in the first instance, and missile strike followed by a dogfight in air.
Thank you. I think at the very outset, the options are there. It isn't that kinetic options are not there. They're there. And without discussing them out in the open, whatever the government decides, all of these options can be utilized. Having said that, I would still say the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without a fight. The perfect thing, I think, if we can get them diplomatically, economically, politically, and then the last option is militarily.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News 9, English news as it should be.